Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. And today I'll be reading Multi-Character Listener by me. So let's get into it. Rengoku. Maybe the argument was a little bit silly. And maybe he was overreacting. But sometimes couples have arguments. And he thinks it's quite normal. But he doesn't know your own experience with them. Or just how bad the reduce of those arguments ending up. So when he raises his voice at you and starts marching towards you, you think he's actually going to hurt you. It's really the first thing that comes up on your mind. And it's not because he's ever done it, but more like that was your only other experience with arguments. So when you flinch back and start crying and apologizing, he looks at you, confused and worried. All the anger in him, vanishing in mere seconds. Hey, Ryan, I didn't mean to. I didn't mean to do this. I scared you, didn't I? I'm sorry. Please don't apologize to me. Calm down. You're okay. And once you had calmed down a little bit, he would wrap his arms around you, gently and slowly so he does not startle you. And he would bring a hand to your hair and start stroking it gently as he whispers words of comfort into your ear. Eventually, your arms wrap back around him, and he leans down to whisper in your ear. Darling, I need you to know this. No matter what happens between us, I'll never hurt you. Okay? And although you're hesitant, you nod. Because you know that Rengoku would never hurt you or make fun of any of your fears. Tengen. Now, Tengen's quite an intense person to be with, so of course, arguments are bound to arise every now and then. But that doesn't mean that you'll be ready for them, or that you're strong enough to be able to endure these arguments. After all, this time, when he starts arguing with you, you try your best to hold your ground and argue back. I haven't even done anything. I don't know why you're talking to me like that. You told him. But that just seemed to make him angrier, because he was not insane. He knows what you did, and so do you. So why do you have to keep denying it? And that's when he slams his hand on the table, and you flinch, starting to cry as he continues yelling, until he looks at you and pauses. Wait, are you crying? Oh, crap, he whispered, to himself, really, before going over to you and kneeling beside you, taking your hands gently into his own and squeezing them. I'm sorry, Ryan. Perhaps I went too far, but I'm really sorry. I didn't mean to make you cry. You know I didn't. And although you don't forgive him right away, you can tell he's quite sincere. And I promise you, he will not be so angry during any other argument, because he knows how sensitive you can get. He could be quite expressive with own emotions, even with anger, and he knows he needs to control that. So he would apologize, and I know he would be just so sweet to you after. He just didn't know how scared you could get, and how lost he can be within his own arguments. Giyuu to Miyoka. Giyuu does not like arguments, and for the most part, he will try to avoid them. But they are bound to happen, and so when the two of you argue, and he gets quite mad, he just decides he doesn't want to talk to you for a while. And that's when you try to respond to him, telling him, Giyuu, come on, please, listen to me. No, Ryan. I want to be alone now. Please, just don't talk to me. And that's when he turns around to the sound of you crying. He looks quite surprised at first, but then he just sighs. Mayan, please. Please stop doing that. And you're really trying to stop crying, but it's hard. And that's when you look at him. I'm really sorry. Please don't hate me. Please. I never said I did. I promise you. And that's when he walks towards you, pressing a soft, sweet kiss to your cheek, unruffling your hair gently. I'm just not feeling my best, so I don't want you to talk to me. But once I'm better, I promise you can. I'll never hate you. Please know that. And although you're quite hesitant, you nod. You're really trying to understand. And you know you can be quite sensitive sometimes. Muichiro. No, Muichiro does not argue a lot with you. Actually, he's kind of avoidant when it comes to that. So the fact that we argue sometimes is quite surprising. And it does catch you off guard, alright? It's all really a silly argument until he yells. And then you flinch, tearing up. And he looks at you in shock. Wait, Ryan, are you really crying? You know I didn't mean to. God. He just sighs, wrapping his arms around you and stroking your back gently. I'm sorry. I know I was wrong. Perhaps I got too angry. But I promise, I was only worried about you. Then, if you're worried about me so much, then stop yelling at me. He nods, apologetic, and you can already see the guilt in his eyes. He didn't mean to. It's just that his anger overtook him, and you only realized when you started crying. So he would comfort you, and cuddle with you as well, and he would probably give you a gift. And you would remember this, so that in future arguments he never yells at you. He never wants to make you sad or upset. So he would kiss your cheek, looking at you with love in his eyes. I promise you, I'll try to be better. Okay? Trust me on that. And you trust him. After all, he's never broken a single promise to you.